Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Wow. It's a new week. It's a new day. And some might even say it's a new life, Dallas. You know?
oh, it is. Hey, you know what? This game, this life, Jared, it's about adjustments. Jayhay, you know as well as anybody. You got to stay malleable. You got to bend, not break. And on the other side of that, you could absolutely be the butterfly who reveals itself out of that cocoon. And Jared, I think you may be on your way, my friend. I think you may be on your way.
I think I am too. Yeah, I've enlisted some help, from the outside. Never done anything like this before. Hired a personal trainer that also has a prowess for nutrition, and as a result of that, I'm trying foods that I've never eaten before. So we're moving past chicken fingers. I gotta tell you, Jayhay, and for the folks listening, I had a phone call the other day that if when there's moments that pop up and you're like, that I needed that on record. I needed film of that. I needed footage of that. This is something I would watch, I don't know, in the morning on the toilet before I jump in the shower. This is something I'd watch while my kids are at jiu-jitsu and I'm just sitting there. Something I'd watch while they're doing gymnastics, or I'm just bored, or I'm just walking from the office after recording down to the house. Just a quick little snippet. Because what I encountered, I told Jared, I said, watching you, and I just saw another video this morning, Jared trying green beans for the first time. Yeah.
It looked like E.T. trying Coca-Cola for the first time. Like, what? His fucking eyes just bugging. I'm like, what is this? What is this, man? The other day, Jared is running through a list of the nutritionists that gave him all of these different items, and he's reading, all right, which already a little scary. Yes, Jayhay, and he's reading he's reading the ingredients or the food items, and he gets to one, and if I'll put it like this, because I gave Jared my guy's contact, and so my wife is on it, I'm on it, I got Jared on it, and he and my wife have some of the same items on their list. And the only reason I could decipher what he was saying is because I know that Meg is eating the same stuff. And he gets to a point, and you can see the eyes cross, the crinkle of the forehead, it was like a true minoxidil moment. All right. And he goes, chips. And I said, Ghirardelli cacao chips? He was like, yeah.
Wait, like the brand?
Yes, Jayhay. Yes, the brand. Ghirardelli cacao chocolate chips. Like all he could nail was chocolate chips. That's nailed what he chips. Got. But he's like fucking green beans? What is a green bean? I've never even had a green bean.
Have you gotten into fruit yet?
Strawberries this morning.
Strawberries.
May I ask her, if you're posting this to social, I missed it, but are you... No,
these are just to Dallas.
Oh, okay. What was your reaction to strawberries?
So I had a strawberry one time. There's a video of it. I don't think I could post it now because of there's a woman putting a strawberry in my mouth and I'm eating it. It was fine. Like I like the flavor strawberry. I've had strawberry milk. I've had strawberry candy.
So the idea of strawberry, I'm into it. An actual strawberry is a little bit different because of the texture. But it was fine. Like, it was fine. Just like the green bean was fine. It's just not something I'd be like, man, I fucking need some green beans. You know what I mean?
That's interesting to me that you reacted essentially the same way to strawberries as you did a green bean.
Well, I mean, there's more taste to a strawberry. It's just like, I don't think I would ever be sitting on the couch thinking I need a strawberry right now. But if part of the diet is that I need to eat 4 strawberries with my breakfast,
get in the way. Yeah,
I can do that. Yeah, like I'm not going to be like, fuck, man. Now I got to, fight down these strawberries. Like,
do you have other fruit on the docket coming up?
Pineapple.
That's really okay.
Yeah, he got pineapple. I don't have pineapple. Very jealous that he got pineapple. I do not have pineapple.
I've never had a pineapple.
So that's coming up.
That I believe is part of, like, how many fucking meals do I have? I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have post-workout, I have dinner, and then I've never had Greek yogurt. So that's like
can you pronounce the yogurt, please?
Greek yogurt.
Just generic brand. Yeah.
No, Jay. There's a name.
Yeah, it's Greek yogurt. And
those can be tricky. Those can be tricky.
My Ka-Chow chocolate chips.
Ka-Chow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've never had a sweet potato, so I'm gonna do that. That's with lunch: chicken breast, sweet potato.
What's your stance on regular potatoes?
Oh, I love potatoes.
Okay. So this could be a pivot. This could be a viable pivot.
That's what I told him. I said, and my suggestion was, because this is how I eat sweet potatoes. Well, and I told him we used to eat sweet potatoes in the clubhouse, like just a massive yam, just a massive sweet potato before the game.
Just like everybody digging into one, like a pigs at trough, or how are you eating that?
It wasn't that bad, Jay. We didn't have to share the damn thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't like we were like Lady in the Tramping a sweet potato. Like,
I've had avocado, but only in sushi.
Okay.
So for one of my meals, I need to just fucking bite into an avocado like it's a goddamn.
No.
Not if you want to.
I'm saving the man a lot of dental work, my friend. we can't afford to have him. We can't afford to have this beautiful face sidelined.
But what we would get out of that, what we would get,
that would just be like blood, wouldn't it? If you're just biting into the
it depends if he's trying to. If he's trying to deep throat the avocado, then yeah, he probably eats the.
Also, the exterior is a little rough too. I think that would be a pretty.
He has no idea that you are.
No, I
so
don't.
Now the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah,
you could choke on that thing.
Yeah, you could. So you just get a big knife, boom, right in the middle. Right, you're
you
gonna
think
split
I'm doing
it.
this? This is all Train. Train's like the head chef of the house.
So then, my advice to you is to eat the half. Just grab a spoon, and eat it out of the shell or out of the covering.
Maybe. I've never just eaten a pickle before.
Yeah, that could go either way. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
The brine
delicious.
is. I think they're delicious.
Once in 2017.
Okay. How they have you preparing that asparagus? Just like pan and butter, or what's going on?
Doesn't say. I don't think I can do butter.
No butter.
I'm sorry. Damn, that sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for fatties.
Well,
Well,
I'm keeping butter around.
Yeah. So I'm just, as I go, I'm sending Dallas video.
This is good.
Me trying things for the first time, just to get my review on it, to document it, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm excited for this future for you. I'm looking forward to regular pod updates.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be healthier, less of a, fluffy gut, I would assume. And hopefully just more jacked than I've ever been in my life. So I can.
Gosh, I didn't even know there was room for upward growth there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Well, there's plenty of room for upward growth.
Jesus,
it's the outward growth that we're looking to curtail. want a tea. Really
was
work
good.
with Jayhay. Let's go.
This podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yeah. The easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing them pick'em game is super easy, and you know, I got in on the action yesterday as the Patriots were victorious once again. Basically have a cakewalk to the Super Bowl.
I saw a funny tweet that was like, they'll really silence the haters on their easiest schedule ever by the gauntlet of QBs teams they will run through if they win this Super Bowl. You know, I don't care either way, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, I mean,
CJ Stroud
I've heard the
was
chirps.
almost
Wow.
unwatchably bad.
That was unfortunate to watch. Unfortunate. And
How many picks did he throw? Like 7?
It was only 4
No.
in the end, but they all came in the first half. Yeah.
I was going to say he was, and I was at the ballpark in Sacramento watching it with some of the players, and we were like, well, I mean, you can't have a worse second half, can you?
No.
Like,
No.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah,
that was
I pretty much
terrible.
only watched the first half, and then the second half I was at fucking Market Basket.
Did you see that the Patriots are going to play a team in the AFC title game that will be QB'd by a person who hasn't thrown a pass since 2023?
Yeah, he former Patriot, right?
Jared Stidham.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's pretty wild.
Stiddy, as they know him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Stiddy. Yeah.
Yeah, big Stiddy. Yeah, that'll be cool. Anyways, make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's JARED to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code Jared. We just actually wrapped up an interview with Sal Frelick of the Milwaukee Brewers. So check that interview out. When are we dropping that? Tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, says Jake. Tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel. And on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're an audio-only consumer of Baseball is Dead, we haven't forgotten about you. You are a big part of what we do. Thank you. But the Sal Frelick interview will be available tomorrow morning, Tuesday. What the fuck's today? Monday? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it's the first day of the rest of my life. I need to know that. Today's Monday.
It's a good day to start that, just in
I
the
agree.
traditional calendar structure.
Yeah, and I'm not one of those, by the way, don't ever loop me in with those fucking New Year's resolution people. I am not one of them.
No.
This has nothing to do with the calendar turning and everything to do with like Dallas being like, I hired a guy, he's really good. I'm like, oh, well, give me the guy. Like this would have happened in June if it was in June. I hate New Year's resolution people.
Side note, a guy in class this morning at jiu-jitsu was he came in saying Happy New Year to people.
Oh,
and
no.
yeah, and
Did you bundle
our
him?
instructor said, Tony, respectfully, I'm going to have to choke you today. It is
Yeah.
it is almost the 20th. We're not doing Happy New Year anymore. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody. It's been a while.
No,
I thought of you guys. Yeah.
I gotta opt out of that. I feel like the internet, or at least baseball Twitter, has not been a safe space recently because everyone's super angry about the Dodgers. And like anytime that it doesn't matter what side you're on, you could be on the Dodgers side, you could be anti-Dodgers, you could be in the middle. You're getting crucified no matter what. It's a very polarizing topic on the internet. Even as far as like making a joke. So I saw the news that Elly De La Cruz turned down an offer to become the highest paid Red ever. You may be thinking to yourself, well, how much money is that really? Well, we don't know exactly, but Joey Votto's contract, the record for the biggest contract in Reds history was $225 over 10. What do you? But I made a little joke about like, oh, I'm not signing anything until the Dodgers talk to my agent first. But what do you think that offer looked like? Do we think it's like pretty
300.
close to the Votto deal? Yeah,
300. It's got to. I mean, if
300
you're Elly
for
De La
10?
Cruz,
I mean, I would probably say it's somewhere in the realm of 10 to 12. And I would like to think that if you're Elly, like the message has been, it's going to start with a 3 if you're talking this kind of game. If not, don't even come to the table. So maybe it was right at that 3 mark. And I mean, you know, as far as the terms and everything, like there's a lot to hypothesize.
He's going into his age 24 season. So like, yeah, like fucking 12 years is no big deal.
No, but you know, is he going to have the opportunity to opt out? I would think he would. And if he doesn't, that's probably a major sticking point, right? Simply because of the unknown on what is going to happen here with this next CBA. Like there's just, I think there's a lot to unpack when it comes to why he would turn that down and what number he could be looking for. I mean, there's just, I mean, because where's he at in terms of ARB?
He's 1 year out. ARB eligible in 2027.
So he's going to hit his first year of arbitration during a year in which the landscape could completely change.
Sure.
When everything we know about how business is run could be completely different, or at least shades different than what it is right now. So I think that's why teams, and understandably so, would try to lock up talent like this before we even have to cross that bridge, because we don't know how long that bridge is. We don't know how short that bridge is. And from a player's perspective, if things are going to change, is somebody like him who's entering arbitration during that next year, is there going to try to be like a grandfathering process that involves players who are up within a year of this new CBA being factored in, and maybe not, you know, like there's so much that I think could be on the table that could change. And that's probably a big reason why the player and his camp have said, you know what, we're going to hold tight here. We're not going to make any kind of decision right now because we just want to get a lay of the land and what things could potentially look like. And I think it really provides the player an opportunity to continue to grow and continue to better himself and put together an even stronger case for why he is the talent that you want to lock up. I don't think at this point you're wondering about Elly De La Cruz and what he brings to the table. It's now just a matter of, all right, what sort of performance can we expect him to sustain over the next 7 years, over the next 8 years or so? Like, what are we getting? Because if we're going to make a 10 to 12-year commitment, I think at that point in time, you'd like to think that, at age 33, 34, whatever it's going to be, 35. He's still going to have a little juice in the tank. What's that?
I would do, like, if it's a 12-year deal and you sign through his age 35 season, just put an opt-out after his age 29.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might want an opt-out. He might want an opt-out after the 3rd year.
Yeah, maybe.
And so does this become and like we've seen with some of these contracts, does this become a heavily front-loaded deal on his end? Because he's like, not only do I want big money now, I also want the opportunity to get out of this if we're going to front load it, which means it's going to become a team-friendly deal towards the end of this so that you could potentially end up moving me if I'm, for whatever reason, not living up to what I should be. So I want the opportunity to cash in early, and I also want the opportunity to revisit my candidacy when it comes to free agency. And I think that's where you have to start to project and look at what the market could look like in the years that you think you're going to hit the market again based on how you think you're going to perform. And that's what takes me back to not understanding fully what that landscape looks like, because there could be some guys who hit free agency that you might not have otherwise thought were going to hit free agency simply because the timeline has changed.
Well, and also, like, you know, so he's rep by Boris, right? And Elly debuted in his age 21 season. So combining those two things and his level of performance to this point, he is a guy who might not reset contract marks, but is a guy who could carry a torch as far as if he continues developing or stays at or near his current level, could like kind of reset some markers for people moving forward in terms of the next guy to sign a big long-term deal. And just as like, I think Dallas, you said $300 million. I think you're a little bit more optimistic than I am on what the actual offer was. I think the reason we're hearing so little about the specifics is that it really probably barely squeaked by Votto's club record, and I'm guessing for at least double-digit years. So we're talking 10 years. This is just my opinion. Let's say it was 10 or 12 years for $230, $240 million. Elly De La Cruz has been the 10th best position player in baseball by F4 over the last 2 years. An average annual value in the low to mid 20s is a baseline that, listen, I don't have the guts to turn down $200+ million, but that's a baseline that he can hit almost regardless of what the financial landscape is moving forward. And I think that it's a very low risk turn down, in my opinion, for him.
And to clarify, what I was saying is I think Elly and his group have to have that number starting with a 3.
Yeah. I was speculating about what the red side actually was, and I'm thinking like, it broke Joey Votto's club record, by $1 or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like,
for sure.
So, and that's just given his level of production and what the upside is moving forward. Like if he just doesn't improve, like I said, we're already talking about the 10th best, 15th best, whatever you want to call him, position player in baseball by F4. If he takes that next step, whether he does or he doesn't, I don't know. That's an MVP candidate. And then at that point, we're talking about different stratospheres of numbers.
Well, he was top 10 in the MVP 2 years ago?
Yep.
Finished, he got MVP, but he down ballot
he finished
MVP votes, right?
8th and 24 and 23rd in last season, but obviously incredibly productive both seasons.
Well, looks like he won't be signing, which is unfortunate.
No, there's just that's honestly like outside of the financial aspect of what this new CBA is going to look like and what these negotiations are going to entail. This is one of the more intriguing aspects of this new CBA bargaining situation for me, is going to be, what does arbitration look like and how is that affected? What does arriving at free agency and what does that look like? Like that for me, because that really does start to change the game, because I think that impacts not only, I think it very well impacts how you start to draft as well. Are you starting to look at guys that are as close to the big leagues, however that may filter out in terms of viable options? Are you now going to start to put more emphasis on player development? Are you okay with guys taking a little while? Do you start to really try to make sure these guys are developed before they get to the big leagues because of that? So instead of getting these young phenoms up and giving them the opportunity to figure it out at this level, knowing, well, shit, by the time they start to figure it out, I'm going to be on the hook to have to make a big decision and pay them even before I think that their development is coming. And I don't want to find myself on the wrong side of that decision. So they're going to be spending a full year in A-ball, a full year in high A full year in double A, and dominate. I don't want you just doing what I want, you dominating. And then triple A, I need you dominating. Like, is that going to be something that we start to see? So that's why I am really curious about how this plays out, because I think there's a player developmental aspect and a player development impact that maybe some folks aren't quite thinking about just yet.
This isn't a one-to-one, but I do remember a time in the NBA's history where when you could go straight from high school.
Kobe.
Right. Well, that's obviously best case scenario, but there was a time where, like, really post Kobe or in the years after, where the floodgates opened a little bit, and in the subsequent decade there was a little bit of a crisis or whatever pre-G League, where it was like we're having to make crises from the perspective of the team, of course, where they're having to make decisions on these guys because they've reached free agency at like fucking 23 years old, but necessarily developed in the way that you would have expected or hoped, but still might be. And it was like, how much money are we paying that sort of person? This team might, so whatever. It's a separate discussion, but I agree with you. I'm interested in it from that perspective as well.
Who was the last? Was it Telfair? No, Kwame Brown. Like, wasn't there? Who was the last high school dude? I mean, because Jordan handpicked Kwame Brown, right?
Yes, that was a hand-picked Jordan selection in a long line of really, really wonderful draft pick selections by MJ. Yeah, really good work. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Dallas.
Yeah.
Nobody calls me by my real name.
Boog Powell.
I was a runner-up for Rookie of the Year in the 90s.
Oh my God. Tim Raines. It's not right.
I am very close with Eddie Murray and Carlos Beltran.
What? Brady Anderson. I know
I won my first and only batting title when I was 36.
Oh my God.
Come on, Dallas.
I got nothing. I am locked up. Mickey Tejada. That's not either.
I won an MVP 9 seasons prior to my batting title.
Wow.
I hit over 300 for my 19-year Major League career in which I played for the same team the entire time.
Jeez.
I was part of the 2018 Hall of Fame class.
Oh, man. I got no idea.
Jayhay?
Yeah, nothing?
Sounds like
No.
he's got it.
Chipper?
Chipper Jones.
I was going to say Chipper, but I thought he won Rookie of the Year.
No. No.
Anybody? Dallas, you want to redeem yourself and take a stab at who won Rookie of the Year that year in the NL?
What was that? That was 92?
What?
Is that the year?
95.
95. 95 NL Rookie of the Year. Was it Shaw Green?
Is that Hideo Nomo?
Yeah, it was Nomo.
Nomo?
Did you get the hint? I'm very close with Eddie Murray and Carlos Beltran.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's sandwiched between them for most home
For
runs
most
all
hits?
time by a switch hitter. Yes.
Yeah. Or most homers. I didn't have, most homers. I got the switch hitter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not a good
that
showing.
sucked. No.
Not a good showing first time.
No.
All right,
That was
it's been a
bad.
while.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done a redraft.
Fuck. See, I was even gonna I was gonna say Larry too. Was how I was gonna name him.
Mhm.
We should do a redraft on Thursday.
Yeah, why not?
Why wouldn't we?
Why
That's
wouldn't
brutal.
we? Do we remember the years that we've done? Because I don't.
Not even sure it matters at this point. I do. I have them somewhere. I was just kidding.
You do?
But yes, but I would have to. It's going to take me a second to find them.
All right. See if we've done 99. The last one we did was 97 because I still have the draft order here. Let's see. Dallas. Why is there? Oh, because Joseph used to do them. So we had 4.
I remember him.
That's why. You can't even fucking... I don't even think this thing lets you pick a 3-team order. It's minimum 4.
Sure, we could hack the system.
I'll just do NA. We can just skip over it. Jayhay and NA. Okay. Did you find if we've done 99 before? Actually, we could probably like look at that draft and be able to tell.
Yeah,
just by looking at the
that's what I'm
draft.
doing right now. Yeah, that was the Josh Hamilton draft, right? Yeah, I think we did this one. Barry Zito,
I
Ben
don't know if
Sheets.
We did. Did we?
Let me look for Sheets.
I mean, there's also like now that there's 3 of us instead of 4, I feel like we should have like a special guest for the redraft, or can we do it with 3?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. The third pick is where you want to be because that's 2 picks,
Right.
and that becomes.
Well, it depends on the draft, right, man?
I mean, yes and no.
Depends on the draft, dog. I'm not afraid of a snake draft. You kidding me?
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
The draft order, would be Jayhay, Dallas, and me.
Yeah, nailed it.
What are you angry about?
Let's do it. Yeah,
I
you
get
get this.
hosed in the second spot.
Yeah, it's
I
a
guess.
Dallas sandwich.
Yeah, NA got the first pick. So
1999.
I mean, if you're saying we haven't done it,
I cannot find. It doesn't appear as though we've done it officially. I can't find it. An example that we did. I found
Yeah.
Barry
And
Zito.
wasn't there a rule? They have to be in this draft, right? They can't.
Yeah, they have to have
couldn't
signed in
gotten
this draft.
taken and then not signed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what do we call those? Havens.
Yeah, that sucks. We should trash that for this new version. That never really worked that well. I didn't think.
Yeah, it was a havens if you tried to take someone that didn't sign in that particular draft.
Yeah, I think I did that
all right,
once.
So Hamilton, Beckett, and then I got to figure out where I'm going from there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to build my team around him. We'll see.
Let's see, 1999 MLB draft. I mean, Josh Hamilton was a damn good player.
And how many players? 5 or 4?
I mean, now that we've removed a participant, maybe we do 5.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, Barry Zito is in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not super deep draft, but
No.
No, there is not. One of my all-time favorite teammates.
I'm going to take him.
oh shit, Mo Vaughn. No, I lied. He was already in the league.
Didn't sound right.
Supplemental pick for the loss of Mo Vaughn is what I was reading. Duh. He already won an MVP in
I was going to say, I think this is the year he won the. Oh, yeah, 4 years ago.
No,
Yeah,
95.
Yeah, 95. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Carl Crawford. Oh, there's ton. Yeah, this is deep enough.
It's definitely deep enough. They've done way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna make. You guys do your own digging. I'm not gonna start naming people for you.
I'm not
that's
saying
the
shit.
That's the mistake I've made before. Just giving you guys free picks.
I don't want your nasty ass picks.
No, you just take your Casey Fossum and suck
Casey
it.
Fossum netted Kurt Schilling at one point.
Yo,
so.
touche,
Oh,
man.
newbie.
Touche.
Mm-hmm.
The burrito is not eligible for this draft, though. Just to be clear.
No, he was
Oh,
He's already there.
Be great. Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Me too. Welcome back.
What does this mean?
Thursday's lineup is fucking loaded, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Justin Havens, do you want to know who you're doing the Cy Young thing for?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see. Justin Havens, you are looking for the Cy Young. I feel like you've been only getting Cy Youngs recently.
A lot of Cy Youngs.
Lot of Cy Youngs, which again, reminder, began in 1956. So you will be looking at not the 1938.
Right.
You can't do that.
We just did.
Not the 1951. You can't do that. 1975 Cy Young.
Sorry, you cut out for me.
19
Sorry.
what?
75.
1975.
Is that Jim Palmer?
Yeah, that's Palmer and Seaver. Let me make sure.
Oh, what a year.
Just making sure. Yep, we've never done that. That's going to be great. 1975, 2 Hall of Famers, same year. Let's check out. Palmer got only quote unquote only 15 of the votes in the AL. Seaver got exactly the same 15 votes in the NL. So there was some discrepancy here. We'll dig into it. That's going to be a lot of fun. 2 all-timers, 1975.
Look at
Didn't Chip? That was. No, yeah. He went back to back. He almost won 3 in a row, right?
Yeah, so Palmer, sneak preview, Palmer won in 73, was hurt a little bit in 1974, came back and won in 75 and 76. Yeah.
74 is catfish.
And Seaver, this is Seaver's last Cy Young Award of the 3 that he won. He would finish runner-up and 4th place and 3rd place in other seasons after this, but this is his last win in his age 30 year. So, yeah. Cool. Good spin.
Great spin. If you can't tell, there's not a ton of news on this Monday, but I did see the Mookie Betts. Was he getting interviewed by John Cena?
Yeah, I mean, the clip that I saw. Yeah, the clip that I saw looked like it was. I mean, he was talking, so I assume the question was posed, but it almost felt like John Cena was just like along for the ride, and Mookie was the one kind of steering things, if you will.
Interesting. Yeah, Mookie said he's going to retire after 2032. So make sure you buy those Dodger tickets. Go out and see Mookie while you can, because you only have until 2032, and he's riding off into the sunset.
What are your thoughts on a player like, even at this point, identifying that as like for suredly like, yep, I'm done?
Well, he's going to be 40, so I think it was more of like a no shit kind of thing. Like, you sign this deal with the Dodgers, you're basically agreeing to spend the rest of your career in LA, and I think a lot of people would have been surprised if he was like, yeah, I have intentions to play. Like, he's not Tom Brady, like Brady would have played until he was 55 if his body allowed him to. Whereas Mookie was just like, and it's not even a knock. Like, I think most guys would be thankful to play until they are 40. Most guys don't, like, especially now with like the age curve adjusting even lower. Like, it used to be like a player's prime is 28 to 32. And now if you're 32, they look at you like you're 55. So yeah, it's not surprising that he would want to retire after his contract with LA is done. I think he said by then one of his kids will be 14, the other will be 10. So he's like, I want to be present and all that. It's like, all right, yeah, man. Like, you've completed your service to Major League Baseball by that point. I don't think anyone expects any player to want to play after 40, especially once we get to the 2030s. Like, what are they going to, if they think that 32-year-olds are ancient in 2026, what are they going to be saying about them in 2032?
I actually think this is a pretty interesting side combo, like briefly, because that's kind of been one of my secondary or tertiary reactions to the Kyle Tucker contract has been like, I wonder, I know it's been in vogue for the player and team to come to these like incredibly long-term contracts that pay the player the amount of money that they deserve or think that they have earned or whatever, or that they agree upon, but that it's spread out over such a long period of time to help with, you know, the yearly hit for the team or whatever. I do wonder like whether this is kind of a shift in that regard too. And it's maybe it's just about Kyle Tucker. Maybe it's about, and I know people have speculated he doesn't love the game like some people. I don't give a shit about that for the purposes of this. But this idea that teams, that they came to an agreement where like, we're going to buy, or at least, you know, with options, whatever, your prime seasons at absolute peak of market value. And then those other years, like somebody else can kind of worry about them. And I wonder like how many of these players that have signed these deals that take them into their age 40, 41, 42 seasons, for, you know, so that they can get their full amount of money are going to be like worn down, not like physically, but just like, I don't know that all of these guys want to be around the game that long, especially
Probably
that
not.
long after their skills have diminished from peak level. And it's like, what is that going to look like? Are these guys just going to get bought out? Or is that just how it's going to work? And that's okay. Yeah, maybe then it's not that interesting, but I feel like this contrast between this era of long term big money deals and this stuff that we've seen with Kyle Tucker and to a lesser extent, you know, the Bo Bichette and previous Alex Bregman deals. I kind of wonder whether there's been a little bit of a tide shift.
Short of getting Rendoned, meaning something goes awry where you do have an injury, you feel like it wasn't handled correctly, and there's some real bitterness there, right? There's some real disdain for the organization. And this kind of goes back to the CBA, because if they eliminate altogether or cap the amount of money that can be deferred and when it can be deferred, the restructuring of the back end of a deal like that could very well be impacted. Where as of right now, or in years past, you thought to yourself, age 39, 40, 41, we might be able to come to this player and say, hey, is there any way that we start to stretch this out a bit? Because you were getting paid, and even if there were deferrals, is there a way that we can stretch this out even farther? And you understand why. It's to just provide us with a little more flexibility. You're going to get your money. This is when we had talked about it. Is there any revisiting that? Can we kind of spread it out a little further, take it a little further down the line? But if you are limited in your ability to do so as a franchise after this next CBA, that makes a difference. That changes things. But I would ultimately, that was where I first went was, no, they're going to be able to just have that conversation. Hey, look, you know, we got $20-something million left on this thing at the end of this year. Can we talk? Can we, you know, I'm not asking you to meet me in the middle. That'd be great. That'd be fabulous, actually. But is there a way that we can figure this out here? Because you don't want to go out. You're not even viable. We can't competitively, we can't send you out there. You're a liability to yourself at that point. What are we really doing here? And that's where the player could very well go, hey, look, that was part of me signing this deal, was you knew that I was going to be at this stage in my career and what that could look like. I also knew that. And that's why I took this deal.
But that's something that we've never really had, I feel like, in baseball history, where it was players that are former superstars or star level players earning what I think will still be a substantial amount of money by the time we're talking about, maybe not top level, but a substantial amount of money for years where they might be like total and complete liabilities and like borderline geriatrics within the sport. Like we've had individual instances of that throughout baseball history, like Pujols obviously being a glaring example, Miggy being another, but it feels like there's a batch of players that will come up around the same time that are going to be really quite old and making a lot of money, and former like top of sport players. Like Derek Jeter wasn't, just to name an example, like the end of Derek's career kind of got a little awkward too because of how skills were diminished and his stature within the game. And that was him. I just don't. I feel like there's a collision coming or a conversation coming on some of these contracts. Not bad, not anti-player. It's just I think it's going to create some awkward situations.
Let's say for instance, let's say Justin Verlander was on a 12-year deal.
Yeah.
And this is year 12, where Justin Verlander is coming off a 29 start season, right? A sub 4 ERA, 3.85.
Did he have a sub 4?
Yeah. 3.85 ERA and 29 starts. 152 innings at 42 years old. And now what number is he going to be fetching? Should somebody sign him? Should the Baltimore Orioles sign him? What are they going to pay Justin Verlander?
20 mil.
So after a season like he just had, he's going to be playing again. Like, you're not talking that guy out of coming to camp. You're not talking him out of taking a back seat. He's looking at you going, I just made 29 starts and posted some pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
What am I missing here as the great that I am?
What do you think he's worth?
Man, I mean, that's a tough conversation to have. Like, that's...
Like, my first thought was 18, but I was like...
Well, I was going to say, what's 20, the QO at? 18, 19?
20, like 22?
Yeah, I think it was between 21 and 22, if I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say... I was going to say like 15 to 18. Just because I think there has to be, on the player's end, if you're coming to the table with a $15 million offer to $18 million offer, maybe I can come to the table with an $18 million offer and incentivize you, right? Like, we get to 175 innings, you make X amount of starts, or maybe it's a $15 million offer where there's heavy incentives where after start 12, after start 15, after start 20 and 25, we can bread you up. We can keep this thing going. But is there going to be an understanding of that from the player? And that's where the situation is going to matter to his decision making. Like, am I willing to take that kind of deal in Baltimore? Or am I going to need Baltimore to guarantee me that money? Am I willing to take a heavily incentivized deal to pitch for the Dodgers? Well, I don't know, because just by way of what you have outside of me, you might be able to kind of work it where I don't hit those benchmarks. I don't make 25 starts.
Yeah.
I don't get my innings limit because, well, you don't need me to stretch it out and go 7. We've got answers in the bullpen.
Well, here to break this topic down even more, special guest Ben Verlander's on the phone. I'm just kidding. I mean, we could get him if you want, but
I'm good.
I'm washing my hair that day.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. I hope he pitches in his age 43 season.
Sure.
I hope it's for. I mean, like I said, he would look weird in an Orioles uniform. It's virtually the same colors as like the Giants and whatever. The Astros, there's a lot of orange going on, but I don't know. Like, it's going to be his last season, probably, maybe. I don't even know. I like, does he go? What did RJ go to? 44?
Yeah,
that's for the Giants in his age 44 season.
Yeah, 45.
45. Guys like that, they're just built different, man.
I mean, do you think like he has to, in his mind, he has to be thinking, I am trying to pitch 4 more years.
4?
Because
if he wants 300,
he wants 300 wins. I got to win 10 ball games a year over the next 4 years. If that's going to be a possibility.
Dude,
that's
won
what I'm
3
chasing.
last year. 3. He won 3.
Buddy, I get it. I get
4.
it. I'm not
4. Sorry.
That's crazy, by the way, to have a 3.85, make 29 starts, and go fucking 4-11.
Yeah, I mean, he has 9
optimal.
wins over the last 2 years combined. Talk about 10 a year. 10 a year, 4 more years. I'm not even trying to be funny. So he needs 34 wins. Okay. I mean, honestly, that might be 5 or 6 years.
He hasn't had double-digit wins since 2023.
He might need 6 seasons, because even if he gets 4 years, are all of those 100% healthy years? Like, is he just repeating last season? He made 29 starts in 152 innings. Is he repeating that 4 more times over the next 4 seasons?
I mean, let's be honest. What teams could afford to, and when I say afford to, I don't necessarily mean financially, but what teams would be a fit for Verlander to go in and, for the most part, 5 and dive with an opportunity to take a dub home? I don't know that there's,
no, it's not a robust market, but
no.
But like, from his perspective, I mean, the Orioles gave Zach Eflin 10 mil on a 1 year. I know Zach Eflin's hypothetical upside is probably surpasses Verlander's at this point, but Verlander was definitively more productive than Eflin was last year.
I hope he gets a deal. Like, I haven't heard anything outside of the interest that the Orioles have.
I'm way more interested in his pursuit of the idea that Justin Verlander could hang on for 4 or 5 more years, if that's the type of life that he wants, and pursue some round numbers, than I am interested in the sort of impact he's going to provide with any of the teams that he lands on. Because I think that's going to end up being pretty marginal in the end.
Yeah, I honestly, like, as guys age and are at the age he's at right now, it feels like it's not even necessarily the season that I start to wonder about or worry about. It's the off season. It's the downtime and getting that engine cranking again, and getting that engine cranking again and ready to sustain the entire race of 162. A body at work stays at work. A body at rest stays at rest. So what is he capable of doing in the offseason that keeps him near a physical condition that would allow him to essentially pick up where he left off and keep rolling?
I don't know, but he's doing something right.
Oh, he's been doing something right for a long time, man. A long time.
Yeah. If it's not Baltimore, where do you see him signing, Jayhay? Where's a good fit?
I mean, that's to sort of piggyback off of what Dallas was saying earlier. If his pursuit is wins, then he has to, in theory, sign with a team that doesn't totally suck ass, or that would be his preference, right? And yet, how many teams that don't suck are in the market for what he's bringing? And it's a pretty narrow thing to thread. And that's why I think the Orioles, that may end up being as compelling of a name as you hear, because they are a team that simultaneously desperately still needs viable starting pitching, at least depth-wise, and aren't on paper already complete afterthoughts in the overall picture of things. Outside of that, I'm not sure that there's a team that really matters that he makes a lot of sense for. And I'm not trying to be
Detroit want
mean.
to do this?
To bring him back?
Yeah.
It's possible. I was thinking about
That's
Atlanta.
not bad.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather, I don't know, you can make the case that the Tigers are going to be better in 2026, but I'm thinking if I'm 43 years old, I want to go where it's warmer. Like, my body's going to take a little bit longer to warm up at 43.
I don't hate either of those answers, though.
The Tigers play in blizzards in the early portion of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not signing up for that, unfortunately, despite the nostalgia. I don't like when legends go out on random teams. Like, the idea that Justin Verlander could be calling it a career to 17,000 at Camden Yards is not, I don't know.
Yes,
that's just
but
not.
it's less depressing than, maybe him pitching for the Angels until Grayson Rodriguez is ready to pitch, right?
Right. But I mean, I just think of how Kershaw got to go out, and it's he's not.
That's
he's
never
not
been
exactly
Verlander's deal, though, right?
Anymore.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, and I think like I said, I'm looking at one number, the pursuit and climbing the ladder of where he's at on the all-time list, and that being
the motivation. And I think if that is the motivation, you've already understood the assignment. I have to pick places that provide me with the best opportunity to hit that mark. And that's only going to be maybe a handful of teams, maybe. And then in that, those teams have to, quote unquote, have room and have the willingness to bring me on, with both of us having an understanding of what we're doing here.
The Tigers idea is kind of interesting, though, because I can't, I'm sure there are instances. Can you guys recall an instance where a team who had the consensus best or second best, whatever, pitcher in baseball at the peak of his powers brought back arguably the best pitcher in franchise history or one of the all-time greats in franchise history on like the back end of their careers for like the swan song, and had those two things going on simultaneously? Because I'm not saying there's an ego issue between those two or how that would work, but that feels like it would be interesting if nothing else, right? Because it's like,
oh man,
Verlander's like, I'm walking back in, I'm like, I was the fucking big dick here a decade ago. Like, this was you were me from the.
Who was the guy in Arizona when RJ came back at the very end there? Like, who was anchoring that staff in Arizona? Because he came back after he pitched for the Yankees. He was like fucking 42, but he still came back.
So you're talking, like the
not
07, 08
Webb.
teams? Was that
was it
was
Brandon
that
Webb?
Webb?
That's
Maybe.
what I thought. But I mean,
Yeah, Webb.
Webby,
That's not a bad comparison. That's a pretty good one. I mean, I'm not sure Brandon Webb was Scooble, but that might be damn close, or as close as we're going to get. I mean, to Jared's credit, like in 07, the first year they brought back Randy Johnson, Brandon Webb finished second in the Cy Young. So, nice.
It
nice
almost
pull.
happened in Boston in 07, same year. Clemens chose the Yankees instead of the Red Sox, but Clemens almost came back to Boston, and that was the peak of Josh Beckett. He finished runner-up for Cy Young that year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And then you've got Scooble's like pending free agency. Not that Verlander signing would impact that in any way, but yeah. Anyway,
it'd be even better. It'd be even better if Verlander does keep trucking for the next 3 years and is just right on the door of 300, hits the mark in a Tigers uniform. You got to believe the Tigers are looking at him going, we will roll a gurney out there with you on it and an IV hanger. You do whatever you need to do to get the ball over the plate, and we are going to pull you immediately after 5. If we have to get you out there for a hitter, we're going to hit that mark with you wearing a tiger hat. That's happening.
I know we all know that wins are overrated or whatever, and that a round number is just a round number, and that Justin Verlander is going to the Hall of Fame and really going to be remembered in exactly the same way, regardless of what exactly his win total is at the end. But I do wonder what it feels like to know in the back of your head, I'm the last guy for this. Like, this is it. When I say I'm done, no one, unless they completely refigure how the sport works, no one is going to make a run at this. I'm the last person who has a chance at it. I don't know. That's got to feel cool and also weird and whatever at the same time. Like, I sort of wish that Scherzer had 40 more wins than he does right now, so that these two could be like, just like refusing to give up as the other person like scratches and claws or whatever. But he's at 221, so that's a complete non-starter. But yeah, that's got to be kind of an interesting feeling for Verlander, I would imagine.
Sure. I mean, unequivocally will be the last.
Well, you are quite literally the gatekeeper, and everybody. You're at the front of the line. There's a lot of folks way behind you that are almost like trying to push you through the door. Like, man, we all want to see this happen. We all want to see this happen. And the fact that you can have a real conversation about it is absolutely wild to me. Just wild. Because there were so many greats that you thought were going to be able to, or thought they were going to be able to, and it just doesn't happen. You don't get there.
Skeens is only 279 away.
What's that?
Skeens is only 279 away.
Yeah, I mean, think about what that, like how much he's missed out on because of where he's been.
Yeah, and it actually, honestly, could be worse. Honestly, he's got 21 wins through 2 seasons and 55 starts. Like that, obviously, he could have 30. He could have 32 if he was on a different team. But shit, man. I mean, he's really the only guy that you could. Somebody else would have to run the statistical probability of it or whatever. But you could at least craft a case for how Paul Skeens gets there, given how early he debuted. But obviously, it's a very, very small likelihood for a lot of reasons.
Did you have a Hall of Fame update, Jayhay?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's been not shocking, but like a distinct lack of buzz about the Hall of Fame announcement coming this year, or maybe it's just my circle, but with tomorrow's the announcement. So the next time that we pod, we will have known who the BBWAA is electing to the Hall of Fame this year. And unless there is a pretty shocking turn of events based on the ballots that we don't know, based on the ballots that we do know, it looks like it's going to be Beltran and Andrew Jones. Do you guys have a reaction to that?
I always think it's stupid when the voters try to like punish guys, but still let them in anyway. Like that's obviously what happened with Beltran. And it's like, I mean, it isn't the fact that he can't fucking work in the game punishment enough. Like his playing career is his playing career. And then whatever, I don't know. It's very stupid. But I think what else is stupid is that Andrew Jones had to wait as long as he did. I think it was Kevin Youkilis went on, was it MLB Network? I don't know. Or Foul Territory. It was one of those shows. But Youkilis was like, a player's peak is like a decade. Like if you were a Hall of Famer over 10 seasons, you're a Hall of Famer. Like it doesn't matter what you did like before or after that. If you can pick out 10 years consecutively of a player's career, and that's a Hall of Fame player in a decade-long window, then that's a Hall of Famer. And I believe he was talking about Pedroia for his example, but it very much applies to Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones was the best center fielder of all time for that that decade where he was just racking up gold gloves for the Atlanta Braves. So I think it's long overdue for him. I think it's stupid that he had to wait this long. And I think that it's also stupid that the voters think that they're like, we have to punish Carlos Beltran for what he did with the Houston Astros. Like, it's not up to you, dude. Like, it's your job to fucking vote. Is this guy a Hall of Fame baseball player? Put him on the ballot and shut the fuck up. But also, I think it's like Chase Utley not kind of like getting the support that I thought he was going to get is going to make it difficult for other players similar to his stature to get in. Like he's kind of the guy, like when Billy Wagner went in, we had the discussion of like, if Wagner doesn't get in, it's going to be very hard for relievers of a similar ilk to get in if he doesn't. I feel the same way about Chase Utley. Like Chase Utley, if he doesn't get in, it's going to be very difficult for other guys that I think are on the fringe.
So I'm glad you brought up Utley, because Utley and Felix are the two guys who, after I acknowledge who gets in, I look on tomorrow. Those are the two guys that I'm going to look for next, because I actually right now view it a little bit differently. I view their number as potentially very positive, at least in terms of their future candidacy, because these numbers are probably going to go down based on what I shared with you guys for the podcast. But like Utley is polling at just under 68% with 50% of ballots known, and Felix is polling at just under 57% with the same percentage of ballots known. Even if you shave 10 percentage points off of both of those numbers, like that's more than double. Felix got 20% last year in his first year on the ballot, and Utley was at just shy of 40% last year. So like that's upward momentum for both of those guys. And I feel like I feel like you can at least, I'm also disappointed in the same way you are that I just think they both should be in. They would both get my vote. But in terms of building momentum for their candidacies and what those look like moving forward, I actually think there's potential to come out of this cycle a little bit encouraged for both guys.
Yeah, and I think
by any chance, do you know what Chase started? Like, what was his percentage year one?
Yeah, I have it right here. He's 28.8% in his first year, 39.8% last year.
Okay, so I mean, again, if Utley gets in, there's hope for guys like Pedroia. I guess like a David Wright maybe, but
yeah, who obviously based on their current polling need a lot of help. But yeah, Pettit will be another name that's interesting. But yeah, Utley and Hernandez, given how much room they have on the ballot moving forward in terms of years remaining, are particularly interesting to me. And then if it is Beltran and Jones, we'll obviously talk about it on Thursday. But I think that would be a very cool Hall of Fame class, just kind of two outfielders to compare or contrast there, and two guys who statistically I think are both deserving.
Dallas.
I was just going to say, I think it's also, and I don't know what the class looks like next year and moving forward. I'd have to take a look at that. But the idea that, when we started to do this exercise, when we were looking at Hall of Fame classes, and I think we did it once where we put together a Hall of Fame vote and kind of explained it. And this is when writers first started to come out and acknowledge and explain their stances. Some of them, not all of them, do it. That there does become a thought to the exercise where this individual is a Hall of Famer. Do they need my vote right now? Is there somebody that needs my vote that is not getting the attention that they deserve? And is my vote better served in that area as opposed to just checking the boxes that we all would be checking? And whether or not that's true, I think there is, to an extent, some validity having talking to voters that I know that's something that weighs heavily on their mind is I want to make sure my vote counts. And it's easy to check the boxes of everybody that we would. But I think if you are passionate about a certain player's performance and their place in the game and how they performed over that, whether it be a 7-year peak in your mind or a 10-year peak, that matters. And so I think that could also be something in play.
So
it's an interesting ballot next year.
I was going to yeah.
Because he's been out of the league for so long, Trevor Bauer is eligible for the Hall of Fame on this one.
I don't know how many votes he's going to get.
Andrew Miller, Dylan Betances, Wade Davis, Alex Avila, Starlin Castro, Joaquim Soria, Dexter Fowler, Jonathan Lucroy, Jay Bruce, Pablo Sandoval, Jay Happ, Jordan Zimmerman, Scott Kazmir. I can't believe Scott Kazmir. Like, it feels like he's like from the early fucking 2000s. Jake Arrieta, Josh Reddick, Todd Frazier, Asdrubal Cabrera, Irvin Santana, Kyle Seager, Ryan Zimmerman, Brett Gardner, John Lester, Buster Posey.
I mean,
so how many of those names off the top of your head?
It's just one.
How many of those? One, right?
It's just one.
The last name you said?
In the next two ballots, so 27 and 28, there are only 3 people that matter. It's Posey, and then in the following year, it's Yachty and Pujols, and that's it. Nobody else is getting any sort of support that ultimately will take away for votes, because like Cano's on the Pujols ballot, but Cano's not getting the support that his statistical profile would suggest for obvious reasons. So yeah, there's plenty. You would think that there is plenty of room moving forward for guys to get the support who deserve the support if we're only earmarking 3 spots over the next 2 years for guys who have to get in, quote unquote.
Is Cano going to be the guy who didn't ruffle feathers of the media, didn't have people hating him like the other guys that are being locked out of the Hall of Fame? Is he going to be the actual poster child for somebody quite literally being punished solely because of PED usage?
I mean, he's from the era of the definitive pause. Like this isn't like, Mitchell report stuff. This is
Manny. Manny's that guy.
Yeah, I guess it is Manny, right?
Manny. I guess I always kind of forget about Manny.
Yeah, you forget about him because he never tested positive for steroids. He was trying to get pregnant, and he tested positive for a woman's fertility drug, and for that he should be exonerated, in my opinion.
It is going to be tragic in a way. Tragic's too strong, obviously. Baseball tragic. That like I feel like we're never going to talk about Robinson Cano after a certain point. Like the definitively best second baseman in baseball for a decade, and one of the great second basemen in modern baseball history is just going to be essentially wiped off the face of the earth because of the positive test. I don't know. It's just, he was so fucking good. He was
Very
so good.
Very good. Very good.
Well, let me see. Actually, what War Games, Robinson Cano.
I already know. I've got his page up.
Cheat ass motherfucker.
Talking
about Jayhay, not Cano.
70.1.
70.1. I'm going to say 63.8.
It is 68.7.
I mean, that's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, no question. No question.
Yeah.
If
there's no
we're
doubt.
having Chase Utley conversations, then statistically, Robinson Cano is for sure. And given that the last 3-4 seasons of his career were actually moving him in the wrong direction, basically, like in terms of peak value and what he provided, like there's no question. He was an MVP. He was a yearly MVP candidate for the better part of a decade.
Yeah. And he's one of my favorites because he's the one who bought, when the Yankees came back into town, he's the one who bought like 200 Get Off My Mound t-shirts and had them distributed throughout the clubhouse.
That's great.
What did he test positive for? Oh, yeah. Hardcore steroid. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, his Hall of Fame candidacy is what it is. I'm not gonna get online and do a whole thing for Robinson Cano, but it is. Yeah. I know what I watched, and he was a very, very good baseball player, a great baseball player, regardless of how he got there.
I'm always looking for excuses to exonerate steroid guys, but this is
We're not.
You don't accidentally end up with this particular PED by. No, it doesn't get slipped into your chicken nuggets at McDonald's.
He wasn't eating fucking green beans over here. You know what I mean?
No, he was not. No, he wasn't doing it the right way.
Wasn't strawberries and green beans.
No. Okay. Wow. Sal Frelick dropping on the YouTube channel tomorrow and on iTunes and Spotify. Check it out. It was fucking great. He's a great baseball mind to talk to. He's got a great head on his shoulders, super talented, easy kid to root for. Jayhay, do you have any award-winning nugs to bestow upon us?
I do. A hot little nug here. I don't know if you saw, but Ha-Seong Kim out for 4 to 5 months. Tough break for the Braves, obviously, in the middle of January. They replaced them this morning. They signed veteran infielder Jorge Mateo to a 1-year contract. I know you were wondering, of the 382 MLB batters to receive at least 1,000 plate appearances across 2020 to 2025, Jorge Mateo ranks 377th in on-base percentage, tied for 374th in WOBA, but he is the 10th best base runner per Fangraphs BSR at 19.4. So, he's their replacement.
Dallas, do you have any final thoughts today?
I'm still pissed off about the Chipper Jones thing.
Yeah, that was tough.
Because it was the fucking name in my head. It was the name in my head, and I just didn't say it.
Couldn't pull the trigger on it.
I said Sean Green. Because I was thinking that Chipper won the fucking award. I don't know. I don't know why.
Can I get a final thought that wasn't the nug, though?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really, for obvious reasons, thank you guys again for having me on the podcast on Thursday. That was a lot of fun to call in.
It boosted the ratings big time.
But what I didn't get a chance to comment on really was the Bichette stuff, or at least not in any way that was meaningful from my end. And the more I sit on it, I think I was kind of like ambivalent when the news first dropped, or I didn't digest it fully. And the more that I sit on it, the more that I'm coming to really like it for the Mets. And a big part of that, not the main part, but a decent part, is that they stuck it to the Phillies. And I don't think you should be signing players or making $100 million transactions based on sticking it to division rivals and just sort of that emotional plea. But in this case, I really think it does some real potential on-field damage to the Phillies, or what their expectations were for what the roster was going to be moving forward. And I just feel like the deeper we get into this offseason and the kind of glow of the Kyle Schwarber re-signing fades into the background, the more vulnerable the Phillies feel to me, and that the Mets were able to take a very, very good player from them and put them on their team. Like, honestly, that could be a win swing of 5, 6, 7 wins, depending on how optimistic or pessimistic you are on Bo Bichette, the people he's replacing in New York and the people he would have been replacing in Philadelphia. Like, that's a significant number of wins between these two teams. And when you factor that in with what the Suarez news did to their rotation, I don't know that they ever really thought they were bringing back Suarez, but that their rotation from a year ago, which was kind of 1 through 5 awesome, at least on paper, now looks to be extremely shaky outside of Sanchez and Luzardo. To me, it's a feather in the cap of the Mets, and given how fully I've ragged on that team throughout this offseason, I think that the Bichette pivot has a chance to be a really nice swing for them. And honestly, like, if you contrast it to an investment in resources from Pete Alonso, like 5 and 150 versus the deal they gave to Bichette, and the likelihood that he might opt out and it might be a shorter term deal, and you're not buying any of his decline years, priority on defense, contact, bat to ball, I think it could turn out really nicely for the Mets. Those are my final thoughts.
Yeah, I think that they should probably keep on adding, though.
I agree.
It's nice to add Bo, but they can't be done.
I agree.
Okay. We'll be back on Thursday against Sal Frelick on Tuesday, and another special guest. Did we ever figure out the date thing? It's next week or this week?
No, it is next week. Next week. Thursday. Yep, special
next
guest.
Thursday, another special guest. We're keeping the manager circuit rolling on Baseball is Dead. Yeah. So I don't want to, I don't really like to release until we know that we've spoken to the individual, and then it comes, because last minute they could be, I got shit to do.
Well, so I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see him in 3 days.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him that people are excited to bring his A game.
He will.
He always does. All right. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We will see you guys tomorrow. See you then.